Last time on Diverse Perspectives, we had a fantastic video with Christine and Neville Staple, sharing their experiences of racism growing up in the UK in the 60s, 70s and to the present day and how things have changed. Really recommend you watch it if you haven't already. Also, they spoke a little bit about the arts and the current struggles. And it's in that domain that we are continuing this time. We have a very special guest from the media talking about representation in acting, on TV, on all facets of all forms of media. So welcome. If you want to tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Letitia and I am a veterinary nurse, and I also do acting and modelling in my spare time. I have 3 boys aged 8, 4 and 3, and they also do acting and modelling too. They've been in TV commercials such as IKEA, they've done short films, they've done modelling also for people like H&M. We literally just did a stills campaign for Premier Inn Hotel 2 days ago. So that'll be out next February.
Fantastic. So a family of actors. That's awesome. So how did you actually get into the acting industry?
I got into acting when I was at university, studying to be a veterinary nurse. So that must have been 8 years ago. So I did it as a hobby, something to do, something to make a bit of extra cash. And then after I had my first child, we started doing it properly. And then we kind of like separated and just went our own way. So he would do stuff as a kid, I would do stuff as an adult. But now because of COVID, we're doing a lot more together again, because you have to be in bubbles. They can't be mixing people. So it's ideal if you have a family that's willing to do this kind of stuff.
So obviously we're in 2020 and there's a lot of discussion about representation of people of colour. How would you say the industry is at the moment in terms of representation?
So I would say that there has been a change in the industry now compared to what there was. There's a lot more black people on TV. I would say that this is great to feel represented, as it's not often that you would get people that look like myself on TV. You would find that there'd be like the token black person in a TV show like Coronation Street or EastEnders. So it's nice that different people of different ethnicities are getting the chance to be on telly now, just because it does make people feel included and a part of Britain. It's nice to see my boys on the TV also being represented, because it just shows that from a young age, if you work hard, you can get what you want. And that's the same for black people, white people, Asian people, whatever colour or nationality you are, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously representation goes wider than kind of just the amount of people that are shown. What about kind of the roles and the stereotypes of people of colour? Do you think it's sort of fair? Is it has it kind of improved or what?
I would say that the stereotypes that are portrayed in films, TV shows, don't necessarily play a positive impact in society. I would say that the roles that I tend to see black people playing are gangsters, baddies, basically. I mean, who was your first black superhero? I would say that was Black Panther, which was really sad when he passed away, because so many people looked up to him, especially young people. So I would say that having negative stereotypes constantly being thrown around is really sad, because that's how people tend to see us. Then they tend to see us as thugs and gangsters, when we're not. We're just the same as any normal person, whether they be white or whether they are mixed race, whether they are black. I think that's just roles that tend to be given to us. And I have seen celebrities saying that they have been told that they need to audition for a gangster role, and if they refused it, then one actor I saw didn't get work for about 4 years because that was all they wanted him to play.
Yeah, that's pretty awful. So obviously still a way to go then. But I'm just curious about personal like feedback that you've had from people, from members of the public. What sort of comments have you had?
The kind of positive comments that I've got would be for the kids mainly. So like the kids are doing really well. The kids are saving for their future. It's nice seeing the kids on TV. It's not all about being academic as well. Obviously, school is very, very important, but kids can do other stuff, and school is not the be all and end all. Negative comments that we've seen are when my son did his IKEA advert. So things like black people don't need beds because they live in huts. We don't need furniture because we live in huts. Just really nasty comments. So you've probably noticed that a lot of the TV ads at the minute have had a lot of nasty comments about black people. And this is why we say that Black Lives Matter, because you think that this racism only happens in America, where corrupt police officers go around shooting innocent black people and get away with it. However, it actually happens over here. Yes, it is not as bad as America, but I can tell you now that it is horrific, the stuff that we do have to endure on a daily basis. And people are only just starting to notice that now.
Yeah, for sure. So how important would you say that the images that are pumped into our living rooms are for people of colour?
So I would say it is really important, as I've already said before, for people of colour to have their images in the media, because it makes you feel represented. Even though there's lots of negative comments, it just shows also that we have a lot of way to go in society to fight for equality. I'd say to see yourself on telly is amazing, and if it inspires other people to maybe take a job on like that also, then why not? I mean, it's all about spreading positivity.
There's obviously going to be people who see things differently, who maybe don't have a full understanding. What would you say to anyone who doesn't understand that representation in the media of people of colour is important?
Um, for people that don't understand why it's important to have representation, I would say that they've maybe not experienced racism. It's important to have representation because you need to feel included. To you don't want to feel like society, sorry, is ganging up on you and doesn't care about you. You want to show your children, the next generation, that there are people like them, that they can do what people are doing on TV. um there's so many people that have role models. Like, role models play a massive impact on people. Obviously, as a parent, you are the one that needs to guide your child in the right direction. However, you should also know that role models are there, and whether that be a negative role model or a positive role model, they do influence your children. Obviously, you would rather a positive role model, and you need to control what your children are watching and seeing via the media. But you can't always do that. But it's definitely better to have a positive role model in your life. And I wouldn't really say that I have any role models. I kind of just get on with it. I don't really look up to anybody in particular. But I know that there are kids that look up to people, and obviously as kids are growing, they need to be guided in the right direction. So having positive role models is definitely beneficial. I'd say definitely for even for adults. I mean, having role models benefits them, because they might not have anything to aspire to, but if they see someone doing well, they tend to think, you know what, I can be like them and just live a happy life, really.
Sorry, my cats decided to come and join the discussion. Um, so you just spoke about role models then, and obviously role models and the value of like aspiration and inspiration is so crucial. Um, you shared some quite worrying and very upsetting anecdotes of people who were kind of typecast and put into negative stereotypes. Can you sort of share the other side of the coin and give us positive examples of representation?
So like I said before, films like the Black Panther were absolutely amazing. We loved the film. We loved just seeing a black superhero. How often do you see a black superhero? I mean, I can name a couple, and they're only recent. Um, all of your superheroes tend to be Caucasian, because white is seen as the best colour, basically. The lighter the skin, the prettier you are. The lighter the skin, the better you are at this, the better you are at that. Whereas we know that that isn't the case. Like, everyone varies. It doesn't matter what colour you are. So films like Black Panther have had a massive influence on people, especially the younger generation, because again, they've got someone that looks like them that is also a superhero. So it was really, really sad that when we heard that Chadwick had passed away. But he is an absolute legend, and he's paved the way for a lot of black actors, because again, he's another positive role model.
Yeah, it was really sad to hear about Chadwick Boseman's death. But obviously you mentioned the legacy that he's left, and others like him. Sorry, the cat's trying to bite me. The wonders of the digital age and Zoom and things like that. Would you say, with the help of people like Chadwick and yourself and other people in the media, would you say there's a lot of cause for optimism for the future?
Hopefully the industry, as you can see, is changing to benefit, because there isn't a lot of black people on telly, on radio. Even it's everywhere, down to football. You don't have any black Premier League coaches. We're not given the same chances, and if we are, we do have to work hard for it. People don't believe that, but I can tell you now that you have to work harder for it. We've already instilled it into our children that they're going to have to work harder than the other children in their class that aren't the same colour as them, because they will automatically just have negative stereotypes placed onto them by teachers and by people around them. And that is simply because of the colour of their skin. And a lot of people will think that that's a load of rubbish, but that's because they haven't experienced it. They haven't witnessed what their family have been through, what their friends have been through. So hopefully the industry carries on going how it is, and having lots of different races and adverts and TV shows. But I would say that at the minute it's a positive, and there happens to be a lot more diversity on TV, which I think is what we need today, definitely in society. Okay, so that's me. Sorry it's quite brief, but the two children have just walked into the bedroom, so I want to make sure that they don't disturb us. But it was nice to meet you, and always strive for your dreams. Bye.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you, Letitia, for your openness and for just the passion that you shared, and also thank you for what you're doing in paving the way, as you said about Chadwick Boseman. People like yourself make a difference. So yeah, thank you, and just echo your hope that things change, that continue to improve. But there's still a long way to go, as you said. So we're going to have further diverse perspective videos. So please stay tuned, and we will I'll have something out very, very soon. But all the best, everyone. Take care.